All you gotta do is hush, you ain't gotta say much when you make that right connection. If you wanna double up, keep the money in the tuck, I can put you in the right direction. I can never get enough, all I got is us, I speak the true confession. Everything goes smooth cause I stay on the move and make them right connections. All you gotta do is hush, you ain't gotta say much when you make them right connections. If you wanna double up, keep the money in the tuck, I can put you in the right direction. I can never get enough, all I got is us, I speak the true confession. Everything goes smooth cause I stay on the move and make them right connections.
Hey!
Brick by brick, you got your boy Big Wall.
And it's your girl, Carrie, all the way here in Calgary, Canada.
Yes,
welcome, everyone.
Yes.
I'm just doing a little live on my Facebook. I'm just like, hi, everyone in Facebook land. This is all you get because you guys have to go over and watch our show. So
watch it live, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Facebook, shouts out to Instagram, shouts out to YouTube, everybody, Jess TV, iHipHop TV, everybody that's streaming with us, the NCG Network, Italy, China, Brazil, we all over the radio station, Philly Jams, and Indie 101. We locked in, man. We are here. You know me, I'm in the States representing the Midwest, coming out the shot. My girl Carrie is in Calgary, Canada. You know what I mean? And we are here with the Culture Connection, man. It's exciting to be here. How are you doing, Carrie?
Well, it's been cold.
Yes.
True North,
yes.
cold and free, as we like to call it.
Yes, it is. Yes,
It's been good. Yeah, it's been, just, I don't know if you heard all of this trucker movement with the freedom rallies and everything going on. So that's been a big thing going on here in Canada. It's been kind of rubbing off all over the world, actually. So very, very proud to say, that our country started that, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see a big movement like that for something that people want to stand up for, which is super cool. So that's
for the people who don't know about it. Now, for the people who don't know about it, kind of tell them what it is, and you know what I'm saying. Well, what's the movement about? You know what I mean?
What's the movement about? Well, if you don't know, which maybe you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have decided because, there's a lot of restrictions in place, of course. So what's happening is that probably about a month ago, we had put the restrictions in place where the truck drivers had to be vaccinated in order to go across the border, both ways from Canada to the United States. And it just kind of pushed things to the fact that a lot of the truck drivers are actually vaccinated. There's no issues with that. But then it's just kind of more or less the freedoms that go along with it. One trucker went over the border and he said, they already had the information of his passport and all this kind of stuff that popped up. And, they were just concerned about, privacy issues and just we want to have more freedoms to be able to choose what we want to be able to do. And everyone has their choice, whether you're vaccinated or not, or whether, you're okay with the whole digital passport stuff or whatever it is. But, we just kind of looking for a little bit more freedoms of we would like to be able to choose to be able to, do the vaccinations or be able to, have the whole digital ID stuff set up because I think it's more of a privacy issue than everything. So that people are worried about. So that's one major thing. And then just the freedoms to be able to move about because we need to have that freedom of bringing merchandise across the borders and stuff and, that kind of stuff. And I mean, basically it's just your overall freedoms for what you want to stand up for. And that's what Canada is about. We're, a freedom type of nation and
talk your shit.
It's true. We don't like to have tyranny kind of put in place and dictatorships or all this kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm not huge into politics. I
Mhm.
try and kind of stay away from that sort of stuff because I honestly don't like, I know some stuff about it, but I don't know enough about it. And for me, when I do kind of like my homework on everything, I like to look at every single side of it all. You know, what is our government trying to tell us? What are like
Yeah.
the non-vaccinated want to tell us, and what are the vaccinated telling us? So every single kind of side, that's kind of what I like to try and get, is that information, because then it's like they say, knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
kind of what, we're getting more and more information about that. So that's the most important thing that's happening. And yeah, so they pulled over 50,000 trucks into Ottawa the first weekend, which I said was like probably about a few weeks ago, to
Yeah.
go right into the Parliament buildings and be able to kind of block them off and say, hey, either the Prime Minister steps down, or, please get rid of all these mandates and everything that are kind of holding us back, because, our children are going to grow up into this. And do we want them to kind of live, what type of lifestyle do we want to be able to hand them down, right? Do we want
Yeah.
them to have these restrictions, or be able to kind of, grow up the way we've grown up, right? Without things that are going on. Of course, things kind of become normal over time. They get used to things. That's how children develop, and they kind of go with the flow, as they say. But, you know, they wouldn't know any better growing up at all of what was the way we grew up versus how they would grow up now, right? So,
Yeah.
and knowing how we grew up, we're like, well, this isn't really quite fair for our children, and we want to have and give them the same freedoms, right? So, yeah, so that's what's been going on. And so these truckers have been there now. It's been, like I said, a few weeks. Some of them have not left at all. There's still probably close to, I don't know, there's probably even more. Now it's like truckers and other families that have just drove up just to support and and just rally for the freedoms. And it's really, really super peaceful, despite of what some people have been saying. Everyone's, they'll be up there. There'll be little, not like rowdy parties, but I've kind of seen some lives, and they'll do like little concerts or something, just to kind of keep everyone, moving and motivated, and just kind of like have a fun time while they're there, make some memories
Yeah.
with it too, but still
Yeah.
fighting for our freedom. So they've been doing that, and yeah, lots of little lives going on, and everyone's so friendly and very cheerful, and just willing to fight for the nation. So it's super cool. And
Yeah.
knowing that it's rubbed off onto other countries, being okay, I don't know what you've encountered yourself, if there's been anything in your city or not, but yeah, and then on like the weekends or something, some Calgarians might kind of walk down the street or drive down the street or something and just kind of protest for an hour or something, and that's about it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of neat to see just the unity of something. I think that's like and our children need to see that too.
It's a lack of that. It's a
Yeah.
lack of that. It's really, and I love what you said about speaking about
Mhm.
the freedoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not too many things that's worth dying for, or worth putting your life on the line, because we all know that these situations can go left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can get
Yeah.
bad when you're dealing with situations like this, especially when you're dealing with subjects like the vaccine, and people choosing what they want to do. It's a
Mhm.
very, very, very touchy situation and a
Very,
touchy
yeah.
subject, and it's not going nowhere no time soon. You know what I mean? And I think it's such a big issue, because it's like you said, it's stopping people from their freedoms. You know what I'm saying? Not
Mhm.
giving people the choice of what they want to do and how they want to do it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you should have a choice. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I definitely, I love the mentality of people standing for something that they believe in. Over here in the States, like it's so many different things, when we talk about the vaccine, we talk about racism.
Yeah.
It's so many cases, the Ahmaud Arbery case and so many other cases are starting, and people getting justice for these cases and things. It's
Mhm.
kind of like it's up and down. You know what I mean? When we talk about the tension, when we're dealing with racism, as far as vaccines and so many other issues that's going on, the tensions are
Yeah.
high. So when you see people coming together, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
standing for one thing, trying to make a change, using their voice, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's the
yeah,
same, like there's even, the Black Lives Matters, they had
yeah,
their rallies and things like that. And it's just, it's good to stand up for what you believe in.
Absolutely.
Everyone has their own opinions, everyone has this or whatever, but it's good that you're fighting for what you want and that you want your voice heard. I can't stress that enough to people, like it's really good to see. And that's something to teach our children is, if you want to be heard, this is, and it's a big issue, then yeah, this is a good way to do it as long as it's peaceful and you're following the rules and, then there shouldn't be any issues at all, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Shouts out to everybody that's watching. We appreciate the love. You know what I mean? Like, comment, subscribe, share the live. We see everybody in here. We appreciate it. Share the live. When you share it, it spreads the knowledge, spreads the platform, and we really do appreciate it. Now, we talk about sharing and just, somebody in the culture that's been doing amazing. We talk about bringing artists, creating lanes for them through media, radio. Our guest today, that speaks values. You know what I mean? She adds to the culture, and she's one of them people who, you know what I'm saying, are using her platform, in a dope, amazing way. We got Miss MJ in the building. You know what I mean? We're going to have a conversation with her and talk about the amazing things she got going on. And I'm excited to have her on the show.
Yeah, exactly. And not just that, but she's an award winner.
An award winner. Please say the award winner. You know what I mean?
Award winner.
Yes.
I can't just be like, okay, she's some booking agent, whatever. She works behind the scenes and she's like a nobody. No.
Yes. Big dog.
She is awesome. And she's just like, anytime she's like throwing guests my way, she's like, do you want to have this person? Do you want this person? And just like so quick. And I'll be like, yeah, let's book them in and information right away. Like she's bam, 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 bam. And just incredible. Like I can't stress it enough of like, well, I mean, we'll get her in here because there's stuff that I want to talk about. And I know she wants to talk about because it's when we're booking artists in for all these shows and interviews and everything. And it's like really important information. And she is a pro at it too. So,
Yes. So let's bring MJ in. Hello, MJ. How are you
doing? Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. I love it. Thank you.
No problem.
Like ever since I met you, I was like, I need to have her on my show. I need to have her on my show. And she's like, no, I don't want to be on the show.
I know, but we gotta get my artist in first. Never mind me. We gotta get them in first.
Yes.
And then, I'm awarded this and I'm up for this and nominated for this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here.
That's the culture though, right? That's the culture. You know what I'm saying? And like you're using the culture and you're connecting with other artists as well as your own artists. Just keeping the culture moving in such an amazing way. So what we gonna do for those who might not know, you know what I mean? The first thing that I'm gonna ask you to give them an idea of who you are is telling me who is MJ.
So MJ is MJ's Hip Hop Connects. It pretty much is a one-woman show at this time, but I do a little bit of everything. So I'll start from the beginning, which is pretty much artist development, a little bit of A&R. The goal and the mission really is to work with an artist, build a fan base, expand their fan base, grow their fan base, keep them relevant and consistent in the public eye. So ideally that is through radio campaigns, radio spins and rotation, internationally and nationally, through BDS, through DRT. So they're getting their royalties, radio interviews, and then we jump into the world of blogs and magazines, press releases, appearances, listening sessions, album release parties, pretty much everything except show bookings. I don't step into that realm. I have no interest of stepping into that realm. There's a lot of jankiness that goes on in that lane. So I kind of like to stay in my publicist bubble. and I work with you know, a lot of different type of artists. It's not just hip hop, although the name is MJ's Hip Hop Connects. I work with all genres. I work with many different professions, both in the music industry and the entertainment industry, producers, films, models, authors. And then when it comes to artists, it's up and coming artists, established artists, and major artists too. So, you know, really the door is open for, you know, whoever is looking to grow and move their career forward.
See, okay. Now, we're not gonna sit here and act like you didn't just literally list off the culture. You know what I mean? And things that artists need. Now, we talk about publicists. People just throw their word around. You know what I mean? And you know, it's a lot of publicists out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And yeah. So, can you kind of tell people what's a publicist and how important it is to have a publicist as an artist moving through the culture?
It's definitely very important for a publicist because, again, our responsibility is to get you out there, to keep you relevant, and to keep you consistent, and to help you, you know, climb that ladder and get higher up in your career. You definitely need a publicist. You may not need a publicist if you're, you know, right out the gate, you know, fresh into the scene. You really don't have any music. You're just kind of, you know, warming up to things. So then, you know, I'll kind of step in with the artist development. And then from there, we can move up to, okay, publicist. But if you don't have any music, we have to start with creating music. We have to start with looking into distro. We have to look into what your social media presence is. So there's a lot of things we need to look into before we can say, okay, yes, you definitely need a publicist. Do you have a PIO? Do you have an EPK? You know, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, what's sad is for the up and coming artists, because there's such a lack of artist development and A&R in the industry now, because everything is so tech driven, they really don't have, you know, that knowledge or that understanding of what exactly they need. So, you know, that sit down and the conversation and getting to know the artists and what they need and their expectations and vice versa is crucial before you start, you know, labeling and putting names on things. And you need a publicist, you need this. If you're an up and coming artist, fresh in the game, again, with either very little or no music, you don't need a manager, you don't need a booking agent, you know. So it's very important for the artists to really have that education of what they need, you know, step one. And then we can go from there. You know, a lot of times the young cats, the up and coming artists will come and say, hey, you know, I have a single I want to push, a video I want to push. Get me on Sway, get me on Hot 97. And meanwhile, they really have nothing behind them except this one single that they want to push. So it's a lot of work. And a publicist is not a manager. A publicist is not a booking agent. Our job is not to book shows for you, to get you on the stages. That's not the role of a publicist. Yeah. And a lot of times artists will get that confused. We're not booking agents. We're not talent buyers. We're not managers. We will increase your pockets in different ways. But, you know.
Talk your shit.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, we're not the manager and we're not the booking agent.
Yeah.
Shouts
out to the culture gang. Shouts out to the culture gang. One of the viewers asked, how much are your services?
That depends. I have different tiers. So I really can work with anyone's budget. You know, there's different prices for the radio campaigns. There's different tiers for the radio campaign. Same thing with blogs and magazines, EPKs, press releases. I can't really say, you know, here's a set price.
No.
Again, because it depends on where they're at and it depends on, you know, their budget. But you definitely need a budget.
Look, see, MJ, look, we here.
Yes, you need a budget. I don't work for free.
I was just finna say that. You said
Yeah.
a huge word, and that word is budget.
Yes.
Now, can you speak to that? How important it is for you to have a budget? Because people think you can do one song and drop it on TikTok, and now you're a superstar. Or
Right.
you don't need money to pursue a career in this
Right.
game, which is crazy. You
It
gotta
is
have
crazy.
you gotta have money to play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it. You gotta pay to play. So can you speak
Right.
on that budget and how important that is in the culture?
Absolutely. You definitely need a budget. Not only do you need a budget though, but you need someone who really, really wants to see you win, because they are going to be honest with you and they're going to let you know, okay, this is your budget. Here's where we need to go with your budget. Because when an artist has a budget, they have their own mindset of what they want to do and where they want to go with this budget. And then you have the publicist and the manager come in and say, no, pump your brakes. We're not going to do that. An artist, of course, their big thing is I want to get an FM radio. So FM radio, you're going to spend anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 to get your record spun in a month, 30 days. You're going to spend $6,000. And then after that month, it's up to the program director if they want to keep your song in rotation on the station. So, my thing to them is, this 6G, we can put in so many different directions to get you known and get you relevant, not just in, the States, but overseas as well. Why take all of your budget for something that after 30 days, you don't know what's going to happen? So budgets are very, very important, but it's more important for someone to sit down with the artist so they can come up with a plan on where they're going to divvy this budget out. Because again, artists are I want Hot 97, I want Sway, I want, you know what I mean? They're just FM, mainstream. And they don't really understand that indie is really now the new mainstream.
Absolutely.
This is where you want to be.
And
Again, you're going to spend your $6,000 when I can get you on 10 radio shows. All of those 10 radio shows are syndicated on anywhere from 10 to 50 other stations. So if I get you an interview on this one station that's syndicated on 50 other shows, that's 50 spins just in one interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and again, that's where the artist development comes in. And there's a lack of that. So I don't necessarily, put that all on the artist, but then again, a lot of this business is you got to teach yourself, you got to learn yourself. So I definitely take pride in getting to know the artist and, having that sit down with them and saying, all right, let's map everything out. Let's do a blueprint, cause their first thing is, I want money. But that's where your manager comes in.
Yeah.
That's their job. And, it's different because the manager usually doesn't get paid up front for their services. They get the cuts. Artists don't realize that publicists are different. You have to pay us so we can do all this work to get you out there in the world. So a lot of times it's taking, a lot of time to break things down to the artist, which can be a little tedious because, again, the young cats, which I love because they're so eager and they're so hungry.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, they're not so very, receptive of wanting to hear what's going to be most effective for them.
And patient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
you know what? Instinct, you know what I mean?
We're in tech world. So they don't think they need to have patience. You know what I mean? Why have patience?
Yeah. And I love the fact that you said you want to be the person that want to see them win. Like, having somebody in your corner that want to see you win is just as important as anything, because anybody can take your money and don't care about your career. They're not going to have that support and give you the guidance that you need. So shouts out to you. That's dope.
You know what? I always say, like, I never understood, like, I hear some horror stories when it comes from artists about managers, publicists. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like, this is my stamp and this is my brand. if I disservice you, I'm disservicing myself too.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take that chance. Absolutely not. Not all money is good money. And I've turned down money. Artists have come to me with a large budget, but because where they were in their career, they wanted to get on the Source magazine, they wanted to get an XXXL, but
Yeah.
again, they only had one single. Nobody knew who this person was. So keep your grand. Let's, do some radio. Let's do some blogs and interviews and get you out there. And then we can go revisit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have just been like, all right, give me your money. Let's put you on Source, and then what?
And
You know what I mean? But I can't.
No.
Again, this is my brand, and I'm not going to have that tarnished.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple questions that actually popped up. Somebody was asking, who have you worked with? And then, that one too, about how big your budget should be. So we'll go with those. And then I have another point to bring up too after those questions.
Okay. So I don't know if that question is based on like celebrities or up and coming or established, but in terms of the major artists, I work with Rampage from Flipmode Squad, Billy Dance from MOP, Onyx, Drez from Black Sheep, Doodlebug from Diggable Planets, Special Ed, Arrested Development, and I just picked up Young Hump from Digital Underground. And that's not to say I work with all of them at the same time. It's, when they have things going on, or like right now with Young Hump, we have a lot of things, outside of music that we're going to be working on with him, just because of his, his character and charisma and everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited to work with him because, the sky's the limit for that one. He can literally do anything, go anywhere, in and outside of music. And Billy Dance, is always great to work with him because he's always putting out new music. Same thing for Onyx. They have another new album coming out March 4th. Drez has the new album with him and Dilla. So it's just they all got, amazing things going on, both in music and outside of music. So it's always great, to work with them. Definitely.
You just named some legends now. We not just gonna just glad pass. You know what I'm saying, MJ? We not gonna do that on the Culture Connection. You know what I'm saying? You just dropped some bombs. You know what I'm talking about? Like, how is it?
Person here, just a little another person
there.
Yeah.
You know
I just dabble in this. I dabble over there.
Okay. The other question was, how big should your budget be? Just from your personal experience. A new artist coming to the game, you say, okay,
basic package.
Basic package
to get it going.
Basic package for an up and coming artist that has very little music. There's a lot I can do from 500, and up. Sometimes even less than 500. Again, it depends on their budget, but there's packages where they can get a little bit of everything from social media promo, some blogs, a magazine, and radio, less than 500. You know what I mean? So it really depends on what they have, and then that'll kind of guide us on where we can go.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now let's talk about, because you and I were friends on Facebook, and
yes.
She knows where I'm going with this. She absolutely knows, because I will oftentimes see her posting up and just kind of ranting a little bit about things. And the biggest thing that we both agree on is how much work we put in. And even Big Wall can even relate to this too, but we all are content creators in type of a way. But the work that's behind the scenes, let's talk about that. Tell everybody what it's like, just from day to day of like working behind the scenes, because people will see the end product. Here's your poster. Here's like the video that we did from your clip. Here's, a story that we put up, from talking to, whoever it was at the station, to booking, and, whatever your day is. And then let's start with the day. how that goes, and then to kind of a final product.
Yeah. So, I have a planner, and I look at it every day, and, I hope one day I'll be able to actually do everything that I'm scheduled to do on that day, but that never happens. And in the music industry, it will never happen. But that's okay. Cause, prior to this for 15, 20 years, I was a social worker. So, and social work in the music industry really go hand in hand. But behind the scenes is—
Say that again.
Yeah, it literally, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, not only do you have to have tough skin, but you really have to know how to multitask, literally. Right now I have 15 open radio campaigns. Then I have other artists who have orders in for blog placement. I write for over 40 blogs. So sometimes an artist will hit me up and say, I want placement in 35 blogs. And I'm not the copy and paste person. So each one of those posts that are going up in 30 sites are going to have different verbiage. So that's very time consuming. Then you have other artists who want the total package. So that's social media, that's magazines, blogs, radio interviews, appearances, et cetera, et cetera. That's a lot too. So there's a lot, and radio campaigns are really, really, really a lot of work. And I don't really think that artists really understand, the time that goes into that, not just making flyers, but reaching out to radio stations, because I'm not just going to put them on any radio station. I need to make sure that, the station I'm putting them on is going to be a good fit for their music. I'm not going to send a trap artist to a boom bap station and vice versa. So it's doing research on different radio stations. It's linking with the radio stations, establishing a relationship with them, making flyers, doing the promotion. It's really a lot that goes into just the radio part of it. So, I mean, again, I have, like I said, 15 radio campaigns open. Then I have about 5 or 6 other artists that have like full campaigns. Then I have some people that just hit me up for blogs or magazines or some promotion. But then you have, the OGs, the legends, and I love them to death. And I'm not going to mention names, but some of them will just drop music and there's no promo or marketing, or there's no, hey, I'm dropping a project. It's MJ, I just dropped a project. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm right on that.
Shouts out to the coaching gang.
Yeah.
What's going on? How y'all doing? You giving dope jewels. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yes. This is exactly what the coaching needs. You know what I mean? And that's why me and Carrie, we were so excited to have you on the show. We seen all of your lineup. I'm like, this is what the coaching connection is all about. Because at the end of the day, like, let's be clear, it's hard to find a good team. It's hard to find somebody that believes in you. And that's the most important part about trying to create something in this music game. If we're talking about across the board, if you can't find a group of people, and I'm talking about 3 to 5 people that believe in you and willing to put their effort, if you paying them or not, into you, you're not going to make it in this game. You know what I mean?
Right.
You cannot do it by yourself. So it's so amazing for somebody like you to come on here and give the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Giving jewels, because people get secrets and they hold on to them. They don't want to let you in, and they don't want to be gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know how much she's going to share, but let's just see.
Yeah.
I'm an open book, really.
Yeah.
I mean, anything I can do to help the artists, any information I can give them that's going to help them in any way. And I'm not one of those people either that make artists pay for a consultation. If you have legit questions, I don't mind getting on the phone for 10, 15 minutes. And even if you don't buy a package from me, you know what I mean? Just to share that information so for the future or whatever. That's, I mean, some people will charge an artist $100 for like a 10-minute conversation just to tell them what they need to do. Yeah. And then won't even help them.
Yeah. It's
You know, there's
so
just,
true.
it's
Yeah.
craziness out there
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, it's true. I think like oftentimes we do like because all of us we have so much knowledge in every single aspect of like the
Hmm.
music, you know. Um like I'm because like I know artists that like personal friends that do sing and I've been behind the scenes even in the studio and I know even
Right.
right from the writing stage all the way up to production to being on radio and all that and it's just like
Yeah.
and to the big stage as well. Like I've been on stage myself, you know, emceeing big huge events and it's just like you know, everyone needs
Yeah.
that team. It doesn't matter like two, three people, whatever it is, but
That's
those huge
right.
stages, we need a team. We need to be able to give them that information. I don't mind,
Yeah.
like you said, call me up, ask me questions. If I don't know the answer, I know people who know the answer, you know,
Absolutely.
Yes.
because
Absolutely.
it helps them
Yes.
to get that much further. And then not only that, but even the word of mouth gets around, you know, oh, hey, MJ helped me with this or Big Wall helped me with that. And I'm
Right.
going to recommend going back to them. And then I also like to see the artists go, you know, I'll take shows and I'll bring artists back that I had interviewed, you know, a year
Yes.
ago. I'll bring them back and I'll see how much growth they've had and what they learned or took away from our first interview to that show. And some of them like have incredible stories and they're
Isn't
just
that a
like,
beautiful feeling?
it
Like,
is.
it's so rewarding. It really is. And
Yeah,
that's
and
what
just
it's all
like
about.
it is, it really
Yeah.
is, and it's you're not looking for that grad. Like I don't want people to be like, "Oh, Carrie did this" or whatever. But
Right.
I just want them to know that they're always welcome on our platforms, always welcome to ask
Yes.
Absolutely.
questions, always welcome to grow and be able to work with people. And I want to, like all of us, we want to help them
Yeah.
grow in so many
Yeah.
aspects of that, and just be like, hey, whether or not we get it, like maybe a thank you would be nice, but if we don't get a thank you, it's okay because we know we can see them growing, through their
Yes.
music, and that's the gratification too. You're like, yes,
I
you know,
completely
see
agree.
now, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's so
Absolutely.
great. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, some other things on here, Tomo. I don't know if you're seeing all the comments, but someone's like, "Need your help? Inbox me soon." I don't know who that is because it doesn't have the names popping up, but I'm not sure who you want to inbox. But we're all here to help.
Yes, we
Absolutely.
are. Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. MJ, where did you start? Because I don't even know like your whole beginning story of like how you hopped on board on this train because
Right.
maybe
Right.
you were into like maybe you are a secret artist. I don't know, but I kind of
I
want to
think
know.
I think the train kind of hit me, really. Um, well, I'm first and foremost, I'm a writer. I've been a published poet since the age of 9, and music and writing and poetry is hand in hand. Um, Hip hop wise, for me, what did it for me was the women of hip hop. When I heard the women of hip hop, I was completely in awe, especially as a teenager, because you're trying to figure out, what you want to do and, who you are and all this stuff. And I was always a tomboy. I was never a prissy girl or anything like that. That was my sister. I was the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
So when these women came out with their Tims and their jeans and their
Talk your
hoodies,
shit.
and they were spitting
Meanwhile, I'm
bar
like,
after bar after bar, holding their own in a male dominated industry, I was floored. I was absolutely floored and in awe. And from there, there was no turning back. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
yeah,
But like I said, for 15, 20 years, I was, in the world of social work, working in and out of the jails, working in and out of detention centers, working with gangs, working in drug rehab programs. But on the side, I was always writing for blogs and things like that. And then just kind of word of mouth, people would come to me and say, hey, I read this interview you did on so-and-so. I'm looking for someone who can help me promote my project, this, and that.
yeah,
So then I started doing a little bit of that. And I was doing that for a couple of years. And then I did my first celebrity interview with Rampage. This is going way, way back. That's how long we've been rocking, probably like more than 10 years ago. And then people saw that interview and people continued to reach out to me. And then one day, Rampage and a couple of other people close to my circle were just like, this is what you need to be doing. Like, this is it. This is you. And so I kind of hung up the social worker hat. I mean, after 20 years, I was burnt out anyway. I just kind of took, you know, a leap of faith and started MJ's Hip Hop Connects. And again, in the beginning, it was really just kind of like magazines, doing interviews. And then word of mouth, again, that's the best thing in this business is word of mouth. You know,
Yeah.
Haj G from the UMCs reached out to me to do some promotion for him. Then Billy Dan's reached out to me. So a lot of the OGs actually reached out to me. So them putting their faith in me was kind of like, all right, I have to put my faith in me now, because if they're reaching out to me, you know what I mean, then I got to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just really kind of, you know, took off from there. Really.
Yeah, that's
That's
dope.
beautiful.
Shouts out to the Culture Gang, to the person that said they want to collab and work with me. Hit me in the inbox. You know, I'm all about the culture. We'll put something together. We'll put a plan together. You already know I am here. We are working.
There you go.
Shouts out to everybody. You already know the vibes. We working. Just hit me in the inbox and we'll put something together.
And then MJ will get a hold of me, and then
MJ.
I'll book you in.
Yes. You know, anybody that want to get in tune with MJ, hit me or Carrie. We'll make it happen. We're definitely here to connect the culture. And anybody on this platform is open and ready to work with anybody that's trying to connect in this culture. So just get at us in our inboxes, and we'll definitely make it happen.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It
really is.
It's so fun too. And I just, like I said, I love to see the growth from other artists, and just knowing like how far they've come, and just even like our own stories. Each of us have our own little stories of how we got to where we are today. And then it's so cool to be like all together at this moment.
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
It is. No, it really is.
Yes.
I know. I was like posting up. I'm like, I've been waiting like a year for this. I had to keep MJ up and be like, no, you are coming on the show.
You're the only one who can keep me up past my bedtime. I don't want any other radio stations thinking that they can pull these all-nighters, because it's not going to happen. This is my only exception.
It's the day of the interview, she'll make a group chat with me and the artist, and she'll be like, okay, she throws us in this group chat. She's like, I got to go to bed in like an hour. So she's like,
I'm like, Carrie, you know the drill.
I know what to do. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like, it's like 5:00 in the afternoon. Like,
I know. And it's so funny because I'm like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay up. I'm not gonna bother her. I'm not gonna do the group chat thing. And then my eyes start getting heavy, and I'm like, hey, Carrie, you know the drill.
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm like,
I'm tapping out.
I love it. Shouts out to the Culture Gang. Yes, we are networking. MJ then came through like Michael Jordan for real, dropping 60. You know what I'm saying? Dropping jewels all over the culture. You know what I mean? Now, MJ, just from your expertise, if it was something about the game that you can change, what would it be?
Ooh.
Janky promoters. That's one. Janky promoters. That's one. Two would definitely be, we need to get back into A&Rs and artist development. That needs to be an essential thing again.
Artist development is non-existent at this point. Like, it hasn't been existing for a long time, and unfortunately, that's why we got a lot of trash artists out here. You know what I mean? Because it's not about talent no more. It's about the look. It's about the money. It's always been about that. But at least it was artist development. At least it was some kind of training that went into it. Now it's just Wild Wild West when it comes to the industry. Yeah.
I mean, as a fan, I remember like waiting sometimes up to a year for your favorite artist to drop their new album. We literally had to wait, You know what I mean? And now it's like
Absolutely.
artists drop an album in October and December there's another. I didn't even finish listening to the first album. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let that hype and let that buzz build
Yeah.
before you drop
mystique.
another album a month later.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
I know. I always tell artists that too. I'm like, it's good you're working. I love that you're working. I love you're putting music out. However, it's just like hearing the same stuff over and over and over
Right.
again. Or yeah, let us just digest this first,
Exactly.
and then please release something else, because otherwise it's like, oh well, now I have to throw this album aside and start listening to this
Right.
one, and you don't get
Right.
the whole, experience of that whole,
Right.
whether it's the singles or a whole EP or whatever. You don't
Right.
get to experience all that because you're too busy trying to reach for the next new thing or the next one.
Right.
And yeah, it's just like having a whole box of Oreos over and over again. You're
It
going to get
is.
sick of it.
And I tell the artists all the time, to pipe them down for that, I'm like, listen, you're gonna piss the DJs off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all,
Don't forget the DJ.
of course you can't, because there'd be no artists without them.
Yeah, man.
If you send artists think that the second you send the DJ your album, whatever, like 24 hours later they're spinning it. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to push your singles sometimes for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to give DJs the chance to actually hit play. I mean, their emails get bombarded like no other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they're finally ready to get this album going and whatever, here you are 10 days later with another album. It's going to piss the DJs off. And we never want to piss the DJs off, ever. That's like God. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't. Absolutely can't.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Absolutely. I know, like, I don't know, Big Wall, like, have you dropped back-to-back music at all?
To be honest, like, I'm from the point at this point of my career. I'm not dropping a project. I'm on my single bag. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because nowadays, if you drop like we were just talking about, you could drop a project with 14, 15 songs on it on Monday. By next Friday, the consumers are ready for new music. Like, they're over that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So at this point, I don't know if it's the artist or the consumer, because it's the microwave generation. They want it instant. Everybody in their phones, they want it right there in front of them. You know what I mean? So I'm from I got the belief that, just say if I got 12 songs and I drop a song every month, that's enough material for a year. Let's say if I drop a song every 2 months, you know what I'm saying? We talking about 2 years. If I drop a song every 3 months, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And treat every song like it's a project. You know what I mean? So I'm not dropping a lot of material because it's a waste at this point. Because really, all you need is one. All you need is two. You know what I'm saying? One good joint to get you that buzz, and then you can create with everything else, like MJ saying, with the marketing, the promotion, the radio, the EPK, the relationships with the DJs, the internet. Because if you're not popping on the internet, you're not popping. I don't care how many shows you do. I don't care where you're going. If you don't have a presence online, you do not have a presence, period.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to add that.
Go to your social media, and if your followers ain't at a certain place, you don't got enough likes, you don't got enough this and that on your social media, they're not even going to listen to the music.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and not just that, but I have to add this too, is that being in, like, doing our interviews, doing all these radio shows as well, I do, like, MJ will send me the artist information. I go and I check all their Spotify. I go check all their Instagram. I check everything that they have. And I'm like, okay, they have at least over 1,000 followers on Instagram. That's like a number one, right? How many songs do they have out on Spotify? I mean, you got to have more than just a song.
One.
Like, you got to have a few, because I want to know you're working. But I also want to see that, like you said, it doesn't have to be all fired out within months. Like, I want to see, like, and really good music. Like, you think about some top artists, and they've got out some bangers that they made 10 years ago, and you can still hear it, and they're still bumping it. You're in, like, you're good. But going back to like just your presence online too, like I want to see, you know, when we're busy behind the scenes making your posters, doing your interviews, getting that all ready, we want to see you guys active with it too, because we're getting excited for your interviews. We want you excited too. And then get your followers, get like, you know, get them involved or be like, tune in, whatever, because you're building that relationship with your fan base. You know, we're helping you grow that, but we want to see you build that. So when they can, you know, I can see people post up and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go online. We're doing this interview, we're doing this show, or we're doing you know, concert online, whatever. I'm like, this is great because it shows how much they're invested into it.
Yes.
Whether like, okay, well, yeah, I'm doing an interview. Oh, catch me tonight. It's like 5 o'clock in the evening. Oh, I'm on in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
you know what? And you make such a good point too. And it's something I stress to all my artists all the time. And it's what I do for the radio interviews too. I'm the bad guy. I don't care. I say, look, if you don't promote your flyer, they're canceling the interview. I tell them all the time, if they don't see promotion, that's what locks the interview in. And if I don't see him doing it, I'll cancel the interview. And then I'll tell the radio show, like, listen, take this guy out of the interview. I don't care. I'll be the bad guy. I don't care. Because the one thing, especially when it comes to you building a fan base, they want to see things coming from you. Yes, it's our job, you know, to push it and do all this, but you as an artist have to do that too.
Yeah.
You know, I've had one artist come to me, 2 artists come to me. They had the same exact PR campaign. I mean, identical blueprints. And one artist did extremely, extremely well, very successful campaign. And the other one, not so much, because everything was just me doing everything. It's almost like robotic. The fans don't want to see shit from me. You know what I mean? They want to see you on Instagram live. They want to see you doing an IG reel about talking about, hey, my new album's out. Hey, I'm going to be doing this interview. They don't want to just see the robotics of publicists and managers, because you're not going to get a fan base that way. They want to see you. So I completely agree with you. Absolutely. They should. And you know what, not only that, but like, it's exciting to be on a radio show. And especially, you know, when I send out to them, I don't just say, hey, you have a radio show interview on this radio show. I break down the radio show, you know, the logistics of the radio show, how many listeners they get, you know what I mean? And so they have all the logistics. I would be excited as shit. I'd be posting it every day. Like, come on.
Yeah, like even like, well, this show here, I think our highest ratings was about 106,000 people.
Yeah, you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it.
My Connected with Carrie show, I had 150,000 people tune in one show. And you realize, like, Big Well, I don't know what you get for your ratings, but this is in less than an hour.
Exactly.
This isn't like, oh, we played music and we did this and we did that. Hell no. Like, you're the artist. You're on here. You're getting sometimes free publicity from this. And you're getting so many people from all over the world tune in less than an hour time span.
And you're going to get followers. The artist is going to get followers based on the interview.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we talking about, when we dealing with this internet thing, you tapping in with the world at one time. Like on this platform, we tapped in with Italy. We tapped in with Jess TV, iHipHop TV, Canada, Jamaica, China. Australia, you know, just across the globe, we are so tapped in with this platform. And like you, MJ, like you name so many different outlets that you have reached. And we talk about the internet and we talk about the FM. The artist has to add to it, because we bring you this. You have to promote what you got and bring it to these platforms, because it's not our job to bring you here and promote you. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think artists, they kind of want you to do everything for them.
Everything, right. Well, I'm paying you. That's your job. You got to do it.
But that's the thing. We can't sell you. You're the artist. You're the one people want to know who you are, the person behind the product.
Exactly.
Behind
We're
the music,
selling you in a different way. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You have to sell yourself for the fans. You know what I mean? We're doing it in a whole nother different aspect. You know, but it's definitely a joint effort. And I tell my artists all the time, I don't care how much money you give me. I'm not working harder than, you know what I mean, than you. You are the artist.
That's a Fact.
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah.
say that again for the people in the back. You know what I
I
mean?
refuse to work harder than anybody.
Absolutely.
You have to put in the work regardless of what
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
investing. And again,
And
it all
yeah.
goes back to artist development. You know, the cocky attitudes, all that goes back to artist development.
And
That's
on
where you
top
have
of
to
the
start
artist
from.
development, I have to always touch upon the flakiness of artists. Okay.
Yes.
Always, I do understand some people have issues, whatever, but please, I'm going to put this out here right now because so many people do listen. Listen, you're booking a show with us, 24 hours notice, you can cancel. Okay. If you think you're not feeling well in advance, let us know. We don't care. We'll rebook you, but please, like, just say, I can't make it. This might be coming up, or I can't actually make this day. I booked it by accident. Let us know because it's really, really super hard to get someone within 5 hours of a show. And honestly, it makes us look bad, especially if we've already promoted the show. I usually put the posters up 2 days in advance on like the Fridays, maybe Friday morning and then Saturday morning for the Saturday shows, for this show. I put it up yesterday. I put it in my stories. I put it everywhere. And then all of a sudden, like people are like, well, I was looking forward to this guest. Where are they? And then I look bad. I have to come on and be like, I'm sorry, like, well, sometimes we do have technical issues. That does happen. Sometimes you can't control that stuff. But when an artist like changes their mind right away, like it makes us look so bad. And it's like, I feel horrible. And I honestly sometimes feel like I don't ever want to book them again. And I feel bad for that. But at the same time, or it's just like, you're making yourself look bad. And then I honestly delete the posters. I delete the email that you send me. And I'm like, okay, they're not going to be rebooked again.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a wrap.
they shouldn't. They
Because
shouldn't.
Yeah.
I can't
Absolutely. It's a wrap. It's funny too, when I first got into this, I mean, I'm talking again, years and years back. And I was reaching out to radio stations. I never, for the love of God, could understand why are these stations booking for interviews? Like, what is this? But now here I am like 10 years later, and I'm like, okay, I totally get it. I totally get it now because you're putting all this work. You're prepping for the interview, listening to their music, going over their bio, getting everything in order that you want to talk to the artist about. You're doing the flyers, you're promoting them on all the social media. And then some of the artists, again, they don't even promote on their end or they cancel last minute. And I tell my artists all the time, if you're a no call, no show, I'm not rebooking you. And if you tell me last minute that you can't do the interview for some stupid reason, I'm not rebooking you. You're beat. That's it. Because you're making me look bad for stations that I've had, a great relationship for years with. For years, and I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'll be the bad guy. I don't care.
Big Wall, you have a point. It's just like, do you, even if you're, an artist kind of full-time, but let's say you're an artist on the side and you have a full-time day job, you are still there on time. Are you not? Are you on time for a movie? Are you on time for dinner? Are you on time to go to a friend's house? Are you on time to get to that, to the recording studio? Because you're locked in for an hour of, recording time, you're going to be there because you're going to lose that $200 deposit that you have for that hour of recording time. By all means. So same thing. It
is. It's the same thing. It absolutely is the same thing. Yeah. And it's crazy because I never have an issue with my international artists. And the time frames are so different. Like if I'm booking someone, I have an artist in Australia. So when I book him interviews that are like 9:00 at night, it's like 3 a.m. his time, 4 a.m. his time. He has to get up at 6 o'clock to go to work, but he's like, MJ, I'm doing the interview. I'm like, are you sure? And then I always get weary because I'm like, oh, what if they cancel last minute? Never. I've never had any issues with any of my international artists. And these are guys that, again, are setting their alarms for 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning to do interviews. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've had them. Yeah.
Shout out to the coaching gang. Yeah. They are in the building. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Value other people's time 100% because time is money and time is the one thing that we can't get back. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
I appreciate everybody's time and effort, especially when we trying to, grow in the culture. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because like, don't nobody owe you nothing. You know what I mean? And that's what people seem to forget. They think you owe them something. They want you to do all the work for them. So let me ask you this. MJ. If you could work with any artist, dead or alive, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you can bring this artist under your umbrella and give them all of your services and introduce them to the world, what artist would you want to work with and why?
Oh man, I gotta tell you, Queen Latifah has been on my bucket list forever.
Okay, all right.
On my bucket list forever.
Legendary.
Yeah. And I had the opportunity of meeting her actually, but it wasn't in an environment where, music or, talking in that kind of lane at all. I was deployed by FEMA and when Hurricane Sandy hit, and she put together a project rebuild for one of the schools who was completely wiped out from Sandy. Wow. So here she comes, in her Timbs and her jeans and, her t-shirt and I have my whole crew with me. It was in August. It was like 95 degrees. Yeah. And we're out there with the cement and the mulch and literally building a playground. Wow. And she was incredible just to see her in that environment. She's just so real and down to earth. I mean, you know what I mean? She was mixing the cement and pouring the cement like everybody else. You know what I mean? She was in the dirt with all of us. 95 degree, weather. It was, to me, it was just like, I can't even describe the feeling that day. It was just, it was a good sense of feeling overwhelmed. But to see, a celebrity, a star, someone, that you idolize from like your teenage years, just in the nitty gritty of this stuff and not in the music sense. Yeah, it was incredible. It was an incredible feeling.
That's absolutely incredible. Like you in Jersey, so I shouldn't expect you to say Latifah. You know what I'm talking about? Latifah is a legend. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely. Oh, come on, man. We talk about where she started to where she is now. You would have never seen her career going the way it has. Will Smith is another one that started with hip hop, and just their careers just went to heights that we didn't see. So I get it. Yeah, that's dope. Legendary.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it really is. Music and acting, that's kind of like us, Big Wall.
Yeah. Talk your shit. Add
that right in there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need that. You know what I'm saying? Now, MJ, I know. Look, we trying to keep you. You see, we trying to hold on to you.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? You see, we trying to hold on to you, but I'm gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna let you go, but we are definitely gonna have you back, MJ.
Whenever.
Maybe we'll do a segment where we MJ talks, and we'll just bring you on here to talk about what you got going on, different
whatever
things
you
about
want me
the
to
culture.
do, I'm there.
All right, MJ. All right.
Let me just put this disclaimer out there again. This is the only show that can get me past 11 p.m. I don't want other people hitting me up thinking that they can do that. I have limits.
I know. So great. Okay. You let us know what your schedule is.
Yes.
Because maybe we can actually have you in like once a month.
Yeah. I'd love that.
That's what I'm talking about.
I would actually totally love that if we could do that.
I would too.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I would love to see, because I want to talk about even like the artists that are coming up and artists that are really promo worthy and stuff, and maybe help them out in that way too a little bit.
I would love it.
Okay. Absolutely.
And it would give me an opportunity to take a nap during the day.
Hey! Even
it's a win-win. It's a win-win. You know what I'm saying?
I can chat to you and be like, hey, MJ, you got to stay up.
I love it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
see, look. That's chemistry. We both
Yes,
saying I love
it is.
it. You know
Definitely.
what I'm
It's a
saying?
win-win.
Yes. Now look, MJ, before we let you get up out of here, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because we know you got to tackle the world. You know what I'm talking about?
I tackle my bed.
Yeah, let everybody know all of your social medias, how they
Yes.
can find you,
Yes.
if they want to get in contact with you, some of the things you got coming up. Talk your
Yes.
shit, MJ.
All right. So, I mean, it's real simple. It's MJ's Hip Hop Connects across the board. That's with an EX. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. My website is mjshiphopconnects.biz. And you can also just Google me. I'll pop up in Google. That's fine too. I don't have a problem with anybody reaching out to me. I always check my other inboxes. I always check my, request DMs and stuff like that. I'm not one of those people that just let, DMs linger and linger. You can access me anywhere, and I definitely will get back to you.
Nice. Now y'all heard her. She gave y'all all the information, but as y'all see, we are going to have a segment with MJ here, so y'all can tap in with her. And if you want to tap in through us, let me and Carrie know. Anything you want to know from me and Carrie, we're more than happy to help you. Because that's what we here, man. We connect to the coaches.
I love it.
Yeah, that part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're going to let you get up out of here, MJ. It was amazing. Your energy it gave me energy. Your energy
I love you
gave
guys.
me energy. You know what I'm saying? I love you as well. It's motivational. You know what I'm saying? This is the movement to move with. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And we are here, man. Love that. Appreciate you coming through. And we are going to let you go. You get you some rest. And we're going to be talking to you real soon.
Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.
Mwah. Love you.
Love you. Love you more. She's so great.
Yes. We talk about a rock star. You know what I'm talking about? That is, like her energy and like giving the game. You know what I mean? And it sounds like that's a one-stop shop. You know what I'm saying? She got a lot of tools that can help new upcoming artists as well as artists that's been established and as well as mainstream artists as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that the culture needs. You know what I mean? So shouts out to everybody watching. We see y'all in here from all over the world. Shouts out. Y'all got a jewel tonight. If you're an upcoming artist, if you're somebody that's trying to reach a certain height in the game, you got some jewels, you got some techniques. And if, like I said, if you need more, we can help you. We can get you in tune with MJ. Just let us know, man. It was amazing, Carrie.
Yeah, isn't she amazing?
Yes.
I know. I just like every time I just see her post something up or just like, she'll throw me an artist here, whatever. And, like on the bottom of her email, it does say that she's like an award winner and stuff like that. And I'm just like, award winner publicist, ideally, is like her title. And I'm just like, I really need to have her on the show because it's true. Like, not enough people understand and know what we each do in the industry and how much work is involved. But a publicist in general is a lot of work. Like, managers have a lot of work too.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, the artists do too. But but it's just hearing it and knowing that, okay, like, we are seriously here for people to promote you, to get your music out there, to be able to advance you further in your careers. But we need everyone's help as well to do that because we're putting in a lot of work to do it. Like for us to do our shows, I love doing my shows. I love being with you guys here on, everyone tuning in and being with Big Wally. I love being with you for the hour and whatever. But it's still like it's time out of our days. Yes. And it's time that we have to put these shows together for you and everything. And it's just like, it's very rewarding in itself, but we really love to see everyone work with us because it is. 100%. It's just like a giant teamwork and I just love it. And MJ is like on the ball every single time, just like ready to help you just like that, just anytime. She's so good. And really, I can message her, not like I couldn't message her now, but I could message her like almost anytime.
She probably sleep now.
Yeah, she's probably dead now. She was probably in her pajamas and just over top
yeah.
and laying on the couch now sleeping. But I could message her any time in the day and she'll just respond almost within minutes
Yeah.
because she's just on the ball. And it's true, like even for myself, I'm the same. Like you can message me pretty much any time of the day. I mean, obviously when I'm sleeping, I'll get back to you in the morning. That's just how it works. But usually, yeah, I check all my requests and all my spam. I go through every single messages to make sure that I don't miss out all my emails and everything because I don't want to miss the opportunities to be able to help all the artists out there. I think it's just super important. And even like with you, Big Wall, you were one of my guests at one point, and now we're working together like this, and it's amazing, right?
Big things popping. You know what I'm talking about? We here. You know what I'm saying? Man, talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard from us. Now we want to hear from you. Like, comment, subscribe, join the culture game, tap in the Underground Radio C, Jess FM, iHipHop TV, all the social media platforms that we are a part of. Show us your love. We also on 101. That's SSH 101 on Roku. We tapped in, man. We not hard to find. You know what I'm saying? And we will be back next Tuesday with the same type of vibe, same type of energy, giving you some news you can use. And we might have some dope people on here to talk to. You know how we do? You know what I'm saying? Because we are here to connect the culture. So until next week, I'm your boy, Big Wall.
And I'm your girl, Carrie. And
this is the Culture Connection. I love it. And we going to see y'all next week. Be safe out there. We